hit the random button twice, and as long as it's not casino, you go there.
And that's how they ended up here at Tile.
So you'll want to note that there are 5-point zones in the corners.
Those are the reds.
And the yellows are 3-point zones. On this particular stage, disc drops are only 2 points. There are some stages where they're worth 4. Super lob to the corners. They're both ready for it.
Yeah, such great defense already.
Just standing by the crosshair. I like the positioning relative to the crosshair.
All right, and Southpaw off the aggressive net rush. It's that 5 we were talking about.
Yep. Super universal. Oh, they're in each other's faces.
Good catch.
Oh, that was a great read. Like, just went right to the north. Knew he was going to go there.
It's a great read on both sides, actually.
Yeah.
Warp whistle on the board.
All right. They're playing a little bit slow here. I really like the way the Costa is like positioning himself relative to the crosshair in order to get like a better, more aggressive
Oh, such
position.
a fast catch there. He really read that lob and he responded. That's why he's in Winners Finals.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
5. Good 5.
Bounces up, gets ready for the custom super. Activates the offensive super.
Yeah, gets mixed up by his own mix-up.
Yeah, it happens sometimes. Oh, gosh.
And then gets the 3. He's still so many points ahead by 7, so he's going to take that set.
Sure.
And so we see Warp Whistle is sitting on super. Southpaw still a little bit of ways there.
Right. So, like, catching the disc in the air and then throwing it straight down is a stronger option right now because he cannot pop it up with his super, with his defensive super.
Good pop.
Charging up. Sends it down to the corner.
A great
Oh,
catch.
gosh. That was a confusing situation there. But they both seem to navigate it all right.
Southpaw Rock couldn't get back in time. Gives up the 5. Goes for the 5 again. Good catch. And that's the thing, if you don't play this game, one thing that's not immediately obvious is Warp Whistle is playing one of the heavies.
Yes.
And in the heavies, mobility sometimes can be a factor, but you wouldn't know that Warp Whistle was playing a heavy the way that he covers so much space and distance.
Right. His movement is incredible. That's part of what makes him one of the greats.
Yeah.
But you can tell that Southpaw Rock has a really good perspective on movement. I've never seen anybody be so, like, mindful of their crosshair positioning the way he has. I really like that.
And Southpaw not able to get those 5 so far, but he gets the 5 then, and he bounces him from the middle into the corner.
Yep. You got to be careful about
And then he gives a 5 up immediately.
Yeah, it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah. He said 1 for you, 1 for me.
Hits back to the center to get a good defensive position.
10 seconds left. Southpaw Rock is up by 1 point.
Oh, goodness.
If Warp Whistle is not scored, this set will belong to Southpaw Rock. Good deflection, good read, yeah.
That was very well played by Southpaw Rock. Now, that was a really interesting situation that that Warp put Southpaw Rock into, where he did the jump and lob down because he was sort of like really banking on him to not be ready for it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have the meter at the time he did it. He gained the meter by catching it, but at the time he didn't have the meter to pop it up defensively if he happened to miss it.
Yeah.
But he was on top of it. So now it is Warp's pick.
The only bad gambles are the ones you lose, right?
True. We are heading to Clay. Neither of them are Biaggi, but we're still going to have some baloney, I'm sure.
So we got some bumpers in the middle.
Yep.
Those don't move, unlike some
not.
other stages.
We've been having some feelings about Junkyard lately.
Oh,
haven't we?
absolutely. Some not nice words.
I mean, the soundtrack still bangs on that.
Oh, yeah, absolute great soundtrack with its Persona rap samples. We're not going to talk about that.
Southpaw's positioning wasn't quite right. Sometimes you can like overestimate Costa's size because you can like he'll catch the disc in situations where you thought you might miss and you sort of like take it for granted, but then like he's not a huge dude, so
No,
stuff will still slip by.
He's a mid character.
He's a mid character. He's a mid character with a slightly bigger body.
Yes. He walks around that large and goes, I don't lift. I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy.
Yes, Spanish people are built like this.
Yeah, all of them.
Just like American people are built like Gary Scott.
Right. No, they're all, yeah.
Oh.
And that was really good to rush back and cover those lobs there after those net rushes.
That gave him, that positioning gave him that unique bumper angle. And it can be difficult to be ready for that.
12 all. Nobody's ahead. So if nobody scores, both people will get a point.
Good lob. I like the lob option.
3 seconds. Ooh. The bounce.
Plain lobs are really good for controlling the other person's positioning. Like if they're like really close, you just don't want to deal with that.
Like, just
go
like
over
back up.
there. Go over there.
Couldn't recover in time. He was too far down.
Bounces from the bumper. It's like, is there a way to predict whether or not the bumper is just going to send your disc up into the air?
I mean, it's angles, but I don't think too many people really are at the point where they're deliberately avoiding that or making it happen, you know?
Yeah. It feels like RNG.
Yeah. Bumper baloney, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Shout outs to Frankie.
Shout outs to Frankie. We love you, Frankie.
Like right there, I'm sure, I am absolute sure that Southpaw Rock thought it would bounce normally.
Yeah.
And it just went to the air.
And Warp Whistle was ready to force him to spend that meter on the defensive super to pop it up from the ground. Oh, that's really interesting. So he popped up the defensive super, but it wasn't on his side.
Right.
It was on Southpaw's side.
That'll happen, especially I feel like in this game more so than one.
Yeah.
Ooh, returns with the 5, so Warp finally is ahead. And now Southpaw Rock is ahead, and he has 15 seconds left.
11. Oh, yeah, but timer definitely matters here.
15.
And Southpaw Rock is up 2-0 in these winners finals.
2-0.
We are doing 3 out of 5 for winners finals, losers finals, and grand finals. We will have one game on this. We'll have one match on this stream that will be 2 out of 3. It is the loser semifinals.
He makes a switch to Wessel, one of the other heavies.
That's right. So he went from heavy to like super heavy.
Yeah.
But of particular note for Vessel is he's got the furthest dash in the game.
Slow walk speed, far dash.
Yeah, and very, very hard disc throws.
Immediate 5.
Oh, that was a weird audio desync.
Well, no, it was great audio. Thanks, .emu. Good quick catches on both sides.
Yeah.
Nice defense. Even though it's 5-0, we've only had one score.
Now, I wonder what sort of tactical advantage there is to avoiding charging your super. Like, he just consistently doesn't want to do it.
I mean, sometimes you just want to throw off timing, or sometimes you're like, I'm not going to charge it, I'm not going to charge it, I'm going to charge it. It's part of the mix-ups.
True.
In a game where all you're going to do is throw the disc, sometimes you got to find a way to...
You have to have creative ways to create mix-ups.
Yeah. Pops the super, even though this game is 16-0. I'm surprised he made that decision. I would have held it until the next game.
Really?
Yeah. There just wasn't much time on the clock.
Sure,
you know.
sure.
Here we go back into it, and that Costa Super does what the Costa Super does. You think you got it, and
but then the angle always eases out to wider with each bounce.
And he sneaks that super behind him because he was at the net.
Now for the metered super version of Vessel's unique super, does that have like a wider angle when you activate it that way?
I don't feel like it.
You don't feel like it?
No, I feel like it's a little faster, and you got to, you know, kind of just, but it's more of the same.
Jump up, throw down.
Quick catch.
Yeah, he was on top of that. It was a good use of the supersonic.
Bounce.
You still get fast throws without the supercharge because of the supersonics.
And about 20 seconds left. Southpaw Rock.
Yep, drops it right behind him into that south corner.
11-5. If Southpaw Rock can hold on to this, he will get on the board, and we will have a 1-1 situation.
Yep.
And it is 14-5. Yeah,
this is
Southpaw Rocks. And so we're going to be 1-1. both characters have meter here.
Might as well go ahead and put it in there.
And keep in mind, Southpaw Rock is up 2-0. So this is do or die.
It is.
Warp Whistle.
Well, do or go to lower.
Yeah.
It's not die until we're doing our losers bracket
that's
matches.
True.
Dashing through the crosshair to change his position very suddenly.
I mean, also, I guess they don't kill anyone in Windjammers.
They don't,
violence,
no.
You know, it's like
It's
like do or throw the disc some more.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
also if you
do or go home.
you're gonna throw the disc some more. So really, it's a very similar result.
True. They both know the angles of Vessel Super pretty well.
Yep. 5-3, 1 goal game.
They're both each up a point in this set, so. Careful positioning. They're both at the net.
Calls his bluff with the net rush there.
Yeah. And when you have like larger characters like both of these, it's kind of tough to like sneak stuff past each other.
Oh, and he does not get there in time. I think he meant a regular dash and he didn't get it out. Kind of mashed it, fat fingered it. It happens.
Yeah, it does happen.
And this is a 5-point game
Oh,
as
wow.
I speak.
I'm really impressed he had the awareness to just like, okay, I can use this angle to get past Wessel with this positioning. And he just did it.
Yeah.
Incredible reaction.
That was great. 2, throws the straight, and then we are going to go into sudden death.
Oh, goodness. All right. So here's what happens on sudden death. First person score wins. That's just what it is.
It's like old football rules.
Yep.
Goes for the super. The catch.
Now, Warp Whistle is at a meter disadvantage. He has to keep that in mind.
5 seconds.
What happens if nobody scores?
I
With the
think
B?
they all lose. I don't.
Oh, goodness.
Yep.
They both. It's a draw game. We just have to redo the game.
Yep.
Wow.
So we get more Windjammers.
We get more Windjammers.
That's what happens. That's the result.
It's cool to see a draw game at this level of play.
Oh yeah.
Because at this point they're just both on top of it.
Yeah. And so we go back to beach.
Yeah. So like the rules, we do have rules that exist in that situation. It just doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
So we just go back to the stage and
Yeah, play in the sudden death.
yeah, keep playing the sudden death.
So I don't know.
So I believe that put Warp on the board.
Yeah. Let's just make sure. Yeah, there we go. There's the update. 2-1. And we are back on beach again? Are we supposed to be back on beach again?
Hold on. So I think if you lose, you can still pick the stage that somebody else won on.
Okay.
So we have something called Dave's Stupid Rule. This means that if you have lost, you are picking the stage. You cannot pick a stage that you have won on. But you can pick a stage that somebody else won on. Dave's Stupid Rule doesn't account for that.
Dang it, Dave. That's a stupid
That might be
rule.
why. Yeah, that might be why the rule's stupid. Again, with the careful positioning relative to the crosshair to maintain the standard options. Southpaw has generated his full bar of meter, expanding his options.
And we are at 40 seconds, and this is a 1-goal game on
It
this
is.
side. Some great defense.
Right now, Warp has the advantage, so if he can continue to defend, he will take this set. But now Southpaw's ahead, so now the situation is inverted. They both have their full bars of meter. Attacks the south corner with the B slap.
Oh.
Activates offensive super and sneaks it right around.
10
He wasn't
seconds,
ready for it.
And Southpaw has to get a 5-point, or else this is Warp Whistle's game.
Yes.
Goes for the super, can't sneak it past him. Warp is going to take this one.
Wow, I really like the way he read that Warp was going to attack that corner.
Yeah.
It just didn't really like lead to anything this time. So Warp has the meter disadvantage at present, but he will generate it in pretty short order. Attacks the net, attacks the north corner, and Southpaw extends his lead. Empty jump. I love empty jumps, man.
It's a sign. It reminds you you're playing Windjammers 2.
That's right.
Ooh.
That was a really good slap, and the positional awareness to know that would work was really great.
And now this is 6-6. We went from 6-0 to...
Now, however, we are in a completely different situation than we were last game because, well, okay. I'm going to talk about it as if it's still relevant anyways. Because if you're tied and the time runs out, it's just +1 to each set count. But if you're already up a set, you just win. However, we don't have to worry about that right now.
Joy the Bold says hi, by the way.
Ah, hello. Hydro. Appreciate you watching.
Oh,
Ooh, just barely missed it. Goes for the 5. Nah, not getting past Costa's big body.
And again, he's got to make something happen. We're at about 10 seconds here. Otherwise,
he
Southpaw
has to
Rock
score a 5 in order
in
to.
it.
Yeah. This is tense. We have seen crazier things like that. And that was it. Warp just won the set from that by scoring past the buzzer.
Well,
the last time we saw something like that happen was Combo Breaker.
yeah.
Except for that time it was for the whole marbles.
And now we're 2-2.
Warp cannot keep getting away with
He
this.
can't keep getting away with this. I think he's going to keep getting away with this.
He might keep getting away with this.
Misread on Warp side. Start the quick 3 for Southpaw Rock.
I like how he just kind of stands there with the back like nothing personnel, kid.
Yeah. Oh. He throws Southpaw right into the net.
Charges up super this time. And sneaks it right behind him into that south corner for 3.
6-3. Kind of a back and forth going on here.
Yeah. Like, these two players have established that, like, having a lead matters because of how good their defense is. Now Southpaw just has to play a really solid defense.
For 50 seconds.
For 50 seconds, which is, like, feasible but harder than you think.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot of seconds.
Right, especially when you have a player with the offensive caliber of Warp, but he's widening his lead.
Okay, and it is, yep.
All right, that is a game up for Southpaw. Southpaw looking to prevent the reverse 3-0 right now. Jumps up, empty, curves it around, just right into his hands. Careful positioning.
Wasn't able to get back in time.
And it was like just barely not a 5. That looked like that super, oh goodness. So when it comes to throwing the disc straight down at the ground like that, what you'll notice is that the disc will like clatter a bit, and you have until it goes like flat on the ground to pick it up. Uses the universal curl super to put it into the north 3.
And again,
it snaps it right past. Hey, the straight throw is valuable sometimes.
I mean, you know, your opponent only has so much time to respond.
Exactly.
And when you make use of so many of your options the way Southpaw Rock has, I mean, you know, you keep them guessing. We were talking about the speed mix-ups earlier, as well as he's been making use of all of his supers.
They're both at the net. Yeah, when you're both at the net and you're both a bunch of big bodies, you start using your vertical options more.
Yeah, and
like
we
your lobs
have
and your jumps.
15 seconds here. It is 9-3. It is 12-3.
Southpaw is
10 seconds. Southpaw could just let this rock. There's no way he's going to score 9 points in 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's not happening.
So Southpaw moves on to grand finals.
Congratulations to Southpaw. That was the lighter characters with the faster movement get knocked around a lot.
Yeah, especially by these bigger supers.
For sure, for sure. And like the funny thing is, like they advertise Discman as being completely middle of the road, but he's made of paper.
Yeah.
Like that dude gets knocked around.
It's just cheese now.
It's just cheese now.
It's just cheese now.
We have the stream admins working on it. It's already fixed. But that's you know what? That's his name. It's just cheese now.
It's just cheese now.
It's just cheese now. Chase Tatsugen. Cheese Tatsugen is up 6.
Cheese Tatsugen.
Now he's up 9. So when you have a lighter character and they tend to do when they do the quarter circle inputs in order to get curve throws, those curves tend to be more dramatic on the lighter characters.
I'm going to tell you this too, you know, just kind of, you know, from playing with Chase for years and knowing how we play, And the thing about Chicago, I can definitely say we play a lot of wide stages. So when you're talking about lawn, you're talking about stadium, these kinds of stages, they're just like, all right, great. I'm glad the RNG favored me here in random today.
Well, when you're on a wide stage, you have to react quicker to stuff because, like, when you're standing in the middle, like as you often do when you're just starting out, you have like spaces that you can't cover unless you're like on top of it that are at the extreme ends. So Jace Tatsugen is up the first game in this.
Oh, and he defied me. He did not pick glasses. Chase,
he did not. No.
Cheese, why do you do this to me?
I can't believe Cheese didn't pick glasses.
Unbelievable.
We have Steve instead of Beho. So the quirk for Stadium, as I'm sure you all are noticing, and now it's gone. So the more consecutive points you score, the bigger your 5-point zone will grow. And then that will reset as soon as somebody scores on you, no matter what the score is.
Oh, and he misses that somehow, I guess. You know, that's the thing. When you're little.
Yes, things slip by. When you're little, you're faster, but your hitbox is smaller. So you have to be more precise with your positioning to catch discs.
And we have a question here. How many entrants did we have this time? Do you know the max number?
I actually did not keep track of that. I'm actually running a different side tournament, so I've been like kind of laser focused on my own bracket tomorrow, which is Soul Calibur 6. But Soul Calibur 6 doesn't matter right now. What matters right now is Windjammers 2.
And yes, Stadium is legal. The only stage that is not legal is Casino.
That's correct, because Casino has flashing lights that they never fixed. So we ban that.
Yeah.
They are 14 up, but Chase Tatsugen has the round advantage.
With 10 seconds left, and with It's Just Cheese now.
Right.
Rushing the net, being very aggressive because he had to make
got the score
happen.
he needed in order to make it 1-up for the game. Final set.
And to realize that Chase is sitting on meter, Chris not so much. All right,
now they both have meter. It doesn't take especially long to generate meter in this game, but when there is meter disparity, the option symmetry can change a lot.
And it's just Chris now getting a lot of mileage off of a very aggressive play with his Wessel here.
Yeah. The heavier characters throw their discs faster, so you have less time to react to it. That was an incredible use of the defensive super. He reacted to the fact that the disc was right past him, and he
kind of got mixed up there.
Yeah. Whiffle shoot! Straight on throw.
40 seconds. We are still at 6 all.
Oh, here's the curve. He almost got got. He almost got got.
Yeah, I think if that was faster, that would have went by.
We're not seeing a whole lot of the square button slap shots, but we're seeing a lot of the circle button slap shots. The circle button slap shots will just sort of flip them over close to the net, whereas a square button slap shot is just like a regular throw, but like faster, just sooner. There's this great use of the square button slap shots, right as I was saying that they're not using it.
He's got to make something happen. We got 5 seconds here. Throws it straight at him. Goes for the super.
Oh,
slaps the return. Doesn't quite get what he thought he was going to get. Chase is going to get on the board with 1. And remember, this is just semi, so he's first to 2.
That's right. That's first to 2. So now it's due. Well, nobody's going to die, but like you're out if you lose here.
Yeah.
From now on, these matches are to stay in the competition. So we have Vessel versus Steve on concrete.
Rooftop.
Well, rooftop. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. The song's worse.
The song, true, actually. And also, I think this is different in that this is a 4-point drop stage, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So Windjammers 1 didn't have variable disc drop points. Empty jump. So here's a special thing about Steve Miller. So when you jump up and catch the disc and look to throw it down, Steve can actually do so sooner than the rest of the cast, by a pretty large degree too. So he has got this wide range of timing to play with in order to mess with Chris.
Misreads the bounce here.
Ow!
Guess that's what they think British people sound like.
I'm pretty sure this was dubbed entirely in France.
Yeah, right.
Great jump and toss. Oh, attacks the north corner.
Bounce.
Yeah, Chase was ready for that. It was too enticing.
Yeah.
It looks like Chris is favoring the north corner a little bit. Could be some conditioning.
Oh, great
That was
slap.
an incredible slap.
Yes.
It's difficult to react to because when it comes to catching and throwing versus slap shots, the slap makes the disc go instantly.
Yeah.
Whereas if you catch, you have to like wait through the catch a little bit before
You got
you throw.
so much less time to respond to
That's
what's
correct.
going on.
Oh, what a read. Great defensive super activation.
Oh,
we
the
get
loop
curly.
and the
Look at that
5.
angle. The bumper baloney strikes. He's ready for the supersonic.
5 seconds.
They're tied.
And 2.
But
Chris is going to hold on to
indeed.
it. So
now that they tied and he was up a game, so it was basically he just won that game.
Yeah.
So it's 1-1.
You're going to see the same characters. You don't usually see them play with anyone else in tournament.
Right.
And we're going to beach.
We're heading to beach. The old faithful.
And yeah, do it. Make it happen. Go ahead, boot up Windjammers. Play.
Yes.
Remember that on Wednesdays, you got Windjammers Wednesdays online. Join the Discord. You can get games every week.
That's right. Jam the wind. Charges up the super, goes for the universal curl. Ooh,
Quick
it looked
bounce
like
back,
Chris was
though.
trying to do the B lob, but it just slipped past him.
Yeah.
That was a good use.
Oh my God!
I
that curve.
don't think that Chase meant to do the slap in that particular direction.
I'm sure if you ask him, he'll say, "Sure, I meant to do that."
Yeah, you gotta own your mistakes.
Yeah.
He was ready for that. They're both ready for the opposite angles. But beach is also like not a particularly wide stage.
Yeah.
So you got plenty of time to react to that.
This is a 4-point game with a little under 30 seconds left.
Oh wow, just barely missed
Ace.
that slap.
Cheese Tasajin going to take it here.
And
One on
we
the
are-
board.
Yep.
It's just Chris now still in it.
And
Speaking
there's
of
that
being
3 on
in
the
it.
board. He's staying in it. He's not going to give up. Super lob, hammer toss. It's called a hammer toss. Down to that south corner. Ooh, Chase was demonstrating some of that crosshair relative positioning there.
Yes.
Scores of 5, brings that.
That curly super to bounce. That has happened a few times here and gotten past Chris.
Oh wow, just barely reacted in time with the defensive super.
So now, of course, Chase sitting on super. Chris now having to build that whole meter.
So what had happened there? So Chris threw out a slap shot and it didn't hit anything because he was predicting it to go like much more direct onto him. But Chase used a very steep angle. That just completely threw out, made him whiff the slap shot. Not that it hurt him particularly in that situation.
It is a 1-point game. Slightly under 30 left.
You get an achievement for bouncing up the disc and then doing a slap shot. So if you guys are wondering about that, wait, you could do that achievement? That's how you do it.
5 seconds here. Unless he can make a 5 happen, this is going to be It's Just Chris now.
Chris is focusing on defense, and that's that, 1-1.
You can see he was going for that 5,
This is,
and Chris just wasn't having it.
This is what we in the FGC call a double Luigi.
Ooh.
Really good use of the Wessel super in order to just kind of jam it directly into the 5. He jammed it.
Oh.
Oh, again with a failed slap shot.
60 seconds. This is a 5-point game.
Chase is going to be looking for a, well, you could just do that twice in order to get back into the advantageous situation.
And Chris about to build meter here. Now both characters sitting on meter.
Oh, he just barely made it there in time.
Going to choose the safe option with this defensive super. He was too far from the other end. He saw that. Oh, and this gets past him again.
11-9. Really good use of the offensive meter super.
Just under 30 here. This is a 1-goal game still.
And then it wasn't. 16-9. Chris advances.
And so it's just Chris now moves on. He is going to play Club Soda in losers. I think Knowledge has been kind of on and off.
Oh, okay. Are they feeling out the
like
Fediverse?
Mastodon and that sort of thing.
Oh, so FGC Network, which is
yeah.
Pluroma, technically.
All right, let's get it going.
All right, we are on Ring. So Ring is a longer stage with the same width as like Beach. So you have like a little bit longer time to react to things. But we have the same point structure.
This stage is it's not Ring. It's not Ring.
No. Like Ring and Arena are like the same.
Yeah,
like,
Arena,
length.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So like Arena is like Beach but longer, and then like Ring is that, but then you like flip the goal zones. So it's like tile.
Right.
Like it's longer tile.
But our floor values for our lobs and whatnot, are those 4s or are those 2s?
I believe here they are 2s, but on Ring they are 4s.
They're 4s, yeah.
Yep. All right, so it's just Chris now versus Warp Whistle. We have seen this matchup time and time again in our finals.
Yeah. Shout outs to this tournament that apparently happened 20 years ago in 2003, according to the backgrounds.
Oh, man. That's cool to know about the lore.
Yeah. You know, they're going to wrap this up, and I don't know if they're going to, like, watch Boondocks or whatnot. Maybe catch some Samurai Champloo on Adult Swim.
Maybe they'll get on Newgrounds and watch the newest Madness.
Yeah, check out Homestar Runner.
Good job there, Homestar.
Oh.
I had never actually noticed the year, like, on the floor there.
Yeah, I don't know. Something I noticed pretty early for some reason. I think I'm like a big lore person, so every little detail I'm just like there. And here we are 20 years ago according to this game.
Literally 20 years ago. That's awesome. But yes, we are in a match right now. There's sort of a little bit of a stalemate going on. They're kind of, but now Warp Whistle is pretty definitively ahead going into 60 seconds left on the clock.
That means they don't have smartphones.
They have flip phones.
Yeah.
They're playing Snake on their Motorola Razrs. That was an interesting interaction there. I didn't expect that to happen at all.
Yeah, some of the net interactions there are just so wacky sometimes. Oh, that bounce.
He did not. I don't know if he meant to do that. That was an incredible slap.
I think he meant to do that.
I'm surprised that slap wasn't worth 5. It doesn't look like it was worth 5. Uses the unique super from Gary Scott.
The punch.
Ooh, he's just barely able to react to that.
Oh, what a good dive. He really covered so much space there.
He really does. I think that's why like Vessel is like really popular for the players who like heavies.
Yeah.
Because like as long as you're right, you just cover a lot of space.
And it's just Chris now going to take this first one.
10-0, 10-8.
And remember, this is first to 3.
That's correct. So Warp is
the mirror.
Oh boy. We have the crowd participation with the ooh. No mirror. We are going to Clay.
Bumper time.
And we don't have Biaggi here. Biaggi has a funny interaction with these central bumpers. Because his super is like a concentric curl.
Forget that. We got one person in the crowd. Got one person in the crowd.
Right.
Losers finals.
Oh my gosh.
Just one cheetahman.
Look at this. Look at King there. Yeah. King from Tekken is having a great time. We are thankful to King from Tekken for coming out to his.
Yeah.
It means so much. Thank you, King. Noogie's got his sunglasses.
We got more cameramen than we got attendees for this event.
Because like the entire crowd is procedurally generated, so sometimes you just end up with nobody.
It's amazing.
Man, nobody cares about this match but the King from Tekken.
Yeah.
Man, but wherever the audience is other than here, I think they've made a whack decision because this is a good game.
This is great. 30 seconds in, it's still anybody's game.
Right. Chris is up by a 3, but you can make that up pretty quickly. Or you can widen the lead.
Yeah. 20 seconds left. Both people sitting on a super meter here.
That curve was subtle, but he was ready for it.
Good defensive super. 6-point game, 10 seconds left.
That was a really, really good use of the unique super to Gary Scott because once it collided with the bumper, it widened the angle very suddenly. He wasn't ready for
the lob to kill some time. Yeah. It's just Chris now.
One up.
First one.
Oh, what a bounce on there. The really, really, really shallow curve allowed him to get that sharp bounce because it hit right at the corner.
Returns that custom and gets a great bounce on the bottom.
I found it really funny how, like, the original user of the super wasn't able to get the sharp angle, but the redirection was.
Oh, and he misread it that time.
We're really liking Gary Scott super in this game, apparently.
Yeah. Especially King from Tekken. He's having a great time.
Man.
Does
So
not
thankful
need a crowd to
he
be
doesn't
the
need a
party.
crowd.
He is the
hype.
party. Yes.
He speaks animal noises and everybody understands him. Man, Tekken's universe is hilarious.
Oh, yeah. Oh, have you been seeing, unfortunately, these AI 80s like art? Did you see the one for Tekken?
Oh yeah,
like a realistic Tekken, realistic King. Oh no.
Oh goodness, I saw like the character select screen mock-up for Tekken 8, and like Brian Fury was yassified. I was like, oh no, that's illegal.
Yeah, no, he's all right. 14, warp whistle, 10 seconds. This is a 5-point game unless it's just Chris now gets that 5.
I really like the use of the lob when you're walking straight to the bumpers because, like, you're not going to think about that option.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to interact with the bumpers. Go over there. Oh, you're not ready? Well, I'm just going to confirm this win.
Yeah.
This time, Chris is not afraid to use the bumpers.
Yeah. And you can't be on this stage. I mean,
no.
Worst you'll get is some bounce that
like
you have time to respond
and
to.
That.
And that.
It doesn't stop, keep happening. Empty jump.
Oh.
6-3.
And again, the bumper giveth, the bumper taketh away.
It sure does. He decides not to interact with the bumper that time and then gets scored on him.
By someone interacting with the bumper. The bumper says, "You are going to do this to me?"
That's right. You better pay attention to me. 9.
It's like
Warp
a needy
is
cat.
up now. Oh man.
Now the bumper's just not going to cooperate.
It's always a shame when you like do your super and it just bounces straight up when it touches the bumper.
And we saw that same bounce sequence earlier. It threw Chris off, and it worked again.
15.
Bumper, bumper, bumper action.
Warp has confirmed this particular game. We are 1-all in this loser's final set.
So we're going to see
We're
more
heading
heavies.
to rooftop. Rooftop is concrete, but with 4-point drops.
And worse music.
And worse music.
I mean, unless you like generic rock, there's someone out
Man.
there. Because keep in mind all those radio stations playing like Puddle of Mud and Nickelback, like they still have an audience.
No,
so, if it's for you, cool.
This particular background track is for people who hear Nickelback like, man, that's too spicy.
Yeah, no, this is for people, and this isn't even talking, but once I say it, you're going to go, yep, this sounds like music from the Sonic Adventure soundtrack.
No. Crush 40 slaps. Johnson No is a god.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing that slander. I am not hearing this slander from my dear friends the Grand. Right now we are 8-5 going into 50 seconds. Warp with the advantage.
The spike
Throws it straight down when they
attach.
both don't have meter. Yeah. It's a strong option, but like when you have players with strong reactions, it gets a bit weaker.
Yeah. And it's just Chris now gets back on the board, and then BWO answers pretty quickly. So this is a 4-point game, 30 seconds left.
BWO stands for Bumper World Order, so I'm not surprised we're here. Come on!
I think the bumpers are still mad at Chris.
He attacked the net in order to reduce the influence of the angled shot.
Oh, the diagonal dash. I don't know that he meant
10.
to do that.
Yeah, probably. Oftentimes when they're diagonal dashes, they're usually not intentional. Having like separate directional buttons can help with that, but then it makes it harder to do like the quarter circles for curves.
Good slap, followed by the misread, so Warp Whistle is ahead by 2.
Bounces it right off the bumper there for a relatively straight shot into the goal. A little bit of incorrect positioning there. Might have been a misread, might have been a misinput. Jumps up and, oh, wow.
The 5.
With the bumper baloney. Approaching the crosshair slowly, imposingly. Great slap, but Warp was ready for it.
He was ready. Such great
It
awareness.
was a good slap and good defense. 14 for Warp.
Who is already up 1. And there it goes. Warp now 2-1.
I'm pretty sure that if that slap shot had succeeded and his positioning was right, like that would have been a really sick play.
Yeah.
But his position was just not right.
Yeah.
Rune Kadayak in chat with BWO for life, Bumper World Order. We got people rooting for Warp in the chat. Deciding on the stage, we are heading to ring. So again, long tiled with 4-point drops.
5's in the corner.
Yep. This is a cool stage. Empty jump. It's really interesting. So he had a subtle curve. Normally, if you send it straight toward a wall, like the angle's going to be like the same when it goes off. But the subtle curve that he put on caused it to like rocket off at a pretty wildly different apparent angle.
Throws the straight. 10-0.
10. Woo! This is going to be an uphill battle for Chris. With the B slap.
No defensive super, so he can't do anything about that.
He just had to have called it out and been there in time. No, that's one of the consequences of having a longer stage. If you send it to the back, that's more distance.
Yeah. Which is especially harder for G. Scott, who does not have the kind of dash ability that Wessel has.
Correct, and he doesn't have the plane mobility that the lights have. Like, Hidomi Mita could just walk there. Incredible slap. Scores on the South 5 for his trouble. That's what he was trying to do in that last game.
15 seconds. 1-point game. If anybody scores in this next 8, they're going to take the set.
He's seen that super too many times. He knows. It's not over until Yep, there it is. Now it's over.
Yeah. It's just Chris now on the board.
One game for this, or one set for this game. The terminology sort of confuses me.
Yeah.
Good bounce there to bounce it up there. It's a lot of just really solid defensive play.
Yes.
Good positioning, good awareness, good reactions.
We have 1 goal scored, and we are at about 60 seconds.
Throws it straight down, but Chris is ready for that. Heading for the north corner. He's ready.
Oh, the slap.
These competitors slap. Charges up, does the universal curl.
40 seconds, and we still only have 1 goal scored.
That is, I mean, these players are good defensively, but you usually don't see that at this level. This is a really bad situation for Chris suddenly. We are 30 seconds left, and he needs to score twice. But in one of those scores has to be either a drop or a 5.
Yes.
The lead has been widened. It's looking bad for Chris in this particular
round.
round.
Here, but it's going to be 1-1 if Warp Whistle does in fact go ahead. 10 seconds.
It's just keeping the solid defensive play going. You don't want to lose it at the last moment. Like everybody learned from what in the world was that? I've never seen that before. Anyways, you don't want to lose it at the last frame like what happened in Combo Breaker.
Yeah.
Like
and again, we're seeing very aggressive play from Chris.
right. He's closer to the net, which means that he cannot react to, he can't defend as easily. What an incredible slap!
Okay. Okay.
And that was like the sort of the equivalent of a supersonic shot, because he had the perfect timing and just sort of rocketed into the North 5. Now, do you happen to know if like supersonic slap timing is more likely on supers?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
I would lean towards no.
Sure. Because I see it happen with like regular old disc throws too.
Yeah.
Note how Warp Whistle is playing at the baseline there, like the top line of that tee. Chris is moving toward the net.
We are at 25 seconds. This is a 3-point game. Thanks for correcting me there, Warp Whistle. I was about to say 8.
He scored as the words were coming out of your mouth, as it happens sometimes.
So the bounce. Returns to super.
That's right.
He's going to hold on to try to waste time and go for the bounce.
No.
It's not close enough.
So that is tech that that tech came out in beta.
Yeah.
And we saw Minimal use it last year to get his way into finals, into top 8. It looks like he just didn't execute it quite right this time, but it didn't matter. Like,
hey, he took the set. So here we are, 2-2.
This has been a really great match.
Yeah. A lot of back and forth. All right, losers finals, top 3.
We have, so this is thinner than ring, and we have 2-point drops here.
Quick 5 from Mischievous Chris now.
Good advantage going into the start of this particular match. Tries to spike it down, he's ready.
Tries to spike again. Can't quite connect that time.
Oh, wow.
Dash away.
It was just a read that was not right.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes your brain is kind of doing 5 things at once.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The mental stack is a very real thing, not only in fighting games, but, I mean, this is like a fighting game in this
Yeah, it's a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Ooh, these
managing your mental stack in order to be able to react to the right stuff is a very, very challenging skill. And you can sort of exploit it if you have like an idea of what the other person is thinking about in any given moment.
And the 5 brings Warp Whistle ahead. So Warp Whistle only needs 1 more. It's just Chris now.
He's at a match point. It's really funny how like the jump interacts, because like it seems the way the jump works is because it makes your sprite bigger, that also makes your hitbox bigger. You can just snap it out of the air from further.
Another bounce, another good. All right, and he pops it up again.
3 points, 5-3.
And that same dash towards dash away here.
Good use of the universal, the defensive meter super when you're not sure what the situation's going to be.
Sneaks another 5 past him.
And it seemed like Chris dashed toward the net there. I think he expected something different than what was going to happen. And he wanted to have a good position nowhere to strike back.
Hesitating to throw that time, but not really doing much. Another of these great slaps.
Incredible slap from right at the net. You can't react to that. You just can't.
Oh, and he has a slap of its own.
Yeah, this time Warp takes advantage of it. Not quite as aggressive with a sort of middling position, but it still had great dividends. It got him the point.
Oh, and that same thing again.
10 seconds. Just going to sit there. Give up the 2.
And that's going to waste the clock.
He can't do anything.
Yeah.
Very, very well played.
So Warp Whistle going to move on to Grand Finals.
Characters in the cast, second only to Jal Raposa. She was the fastest character at Windjammers 1. You're going to notice that her walk speed, look at that. Girl is moving. So when if you're having one of those days where you're just not believing in your dashes, you're just like Twitch dashing all the time and having a bad time, pick Mita. She just walks to go anywhere she wants. And like her throws aren't even bad.
They're not. There's some pretty unique curves though, and the thing is, when it comes to throw speed, if you don't throw it quickly, you know, especially look at some of those slow throws from these lighter characters.
Right. So they don't have as much power, but this does not fly as far. So UGS Gaming has pasted our Matcherino in the chat, and we have an exclamation mark Matcherino command that you can use. You can get free codes in order to bolster our pot bonus for our competitors. So get on that. Get our guys paid. And hey, thank you very much for your participation in Matcherino, for watching us. Top 4 tonight. We appreciate you very, very much.
The spike, the response. That was such an amazing sequence of events there.
Oftentimes when it comes to like top ends in Windjammer, top 4s, top 8s, you see so many heavy characters. It's good to see some light characters just running around the stage for once.
7 seconds. Southpaw Rock is ahead here.
Southpaw Rock is demonstrating, like, he's got hitbox awareness for not just Costa, but Mita.
Yeah.
So being able to put Mita on the side of the crosshair that's like closest to the net gives her throws just that much more speed. Effective speed, basically, because they're covering less distance. And of course that makes it harder to react to. And Mita's a fast walker, so it's so easy to reposition yourself defensively after cutting loose.
Absolutely. And can we talk about how no one is playing any of the characters that they played in that previous Winners Finals set?
Right. Like I didn't know Warp had a U. I do wonder what the purpose of this is. I wonder if they're trying to sort of invalidate their download caches for each other.
Yeah.
5 points for Southpaw Rock while he is up 1 round. 0 for Warp Whistle at the moment.
So far, this pick is definitely working better for Southpaw Rock as far as to switch these lights here and new characters. 11-0 with under 30 seconds left.
It's a little hard to tell for sure because the matchup is so different than what we saw in Winners Finals.
And Warp Whistle finally on the board with 15 seconds left. This is an 8-point game. And you know, Southpaw Rock will not
in the south.
stall. There will be 10 seconds left, and he will speed it.
He wants to hammer at your psyche, because if he forces you to actively defend, even when he's in the lead, that's going to like really stress out your mental like fortitude. It's very taxing, and it's going to wear you down for subsequent games. So it's valuable to like sort of save your own mental MP or to like, guarantee a sort of situation. But Southpaw is choosing a more deep aggression and choosing to continue to be aggressive even when he doesn't need to be. He wants to wear you down.
We have the switch to K. Wessel. Here's that junkyard music.
Yeah, good stuff. So these bumpers, so this is the first time we've seen Junkyard in these top 4s. So I'm sure you've already noticed, but the bumpers here on Junkyard move. And you're going to end up getting some really unique and inconsistent interactions because of the way that these move.
You know, I don't think there was one person who played Windjammers 1 on concrete and clay and went, I wish these bumpers moved.
Yeah, nobody wanted it. It It was really cool in its novelty when this game first came out.
Yeah.
But it seems like the players that are like sticking with it are just kind of tired of it.
It's not even tired. Sometimes these bumpers can be really mean.
Yeah.
I also love how there are far more people who came to the junkyard.
Yeah. we go to the arena and it's just King from Tekken, but we got a whole lot of spectators here at the junkyard. We even have a doggo over there.
Yeah. Tickets are probably cheaper. Time. Southpaw Rock gonna go up.
And so so this is grand final. Southpaw Rock is on the winner side. That means he only has to win this set, and then he's done. Warp Whistle will have to win 2 sets because he has to send Southpaw Rock into the loser's bracket and then beat him again in order to win this tournament. And he can't do it. We've
Can't
seen
make it happen.
Yeah, we've seen this sort of thing happen in this game before.
I mean, Southpaw Rock is really good, though, so that is not to take away from either of these
Exactly.
players.
Southpaw Rock does have a pretty distinct advantage from being on the winner's side, though. And we sort of glossed over it, but Warp has picked Vessel. So we have a super light versus a super heavy. Sort of yin and yang situation here.
Southpaw Rock back on the board. 3-6, and then immediately gives up another 3.
That looked like a misread.
Yeah.
A bunch of committed dashes. You don't dash a lot with Mita when you're just kind of moving.
Yeah, you don't need to.
Ooh, I really like the curve to avoid interacting with the bumper. Really, really funky angles with the curve, and the lighter characters can do that. Defensive super. He wants to keep his lead in order to stay alive in this particular game.
1 point game.
1, and that's
The
it.
bounce, yep. So Warp Whistle gonna go here with 1, so we are at 1-1.
For a moment, it looked like Warp wasn't going to catch it.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
Sometimes that happens. You're like, I got it, and then the game's just like, you don't got it. So
Oh, you thought that's where your hitbox was? That's funny.
just like sometimes you think you got the 5, and all of a sudden the game's like 3.
It's a really interesting circle slap there. Lob slap. Oh, yeah, for a moment there, it looked like Southpaw's rock positioning was not right. I'm like, that's just going to fall behind him, and he fixed it.
Yeah, I was actually surprised he kept that positioning for as long as he did.
Yeah,
A little bit dangerous as a light character.
for sure, for sure. Their hitboxes are smaller. Lightning Wave! Again with a Lightning Wave, looking for some funky bumper interactions. But he got the score. It worked out.
All right.
Oh, wow. Good use of the offensive line. I don't know if he meant to do that. I wonder if he thought that he wasn't going to catch it and then hit the super
defense,
button.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, you have the disc, so we're just going to give you your offensive super. That happens to me all the freaking time. Oh, no! Oh. And he doesn't have meter to pop it back up.
And it's 6 seconds, and he's ahead by 4 points.
So Mita's small hitbox demonstrably sort of bit him there.
He's all right, though.
Yeah.
Say he had the 4-point lead.
Wasn't a particularly huge loss.
So that is going to put Southpaw Rock at 2.
Yep, and he must stay as Mita. We have Discman opened up. Will he pick Discman? We have Gary Scott.
Yeah. Again, this is to stay alive here. I think you just go with your main.
Yeah, makes sense.
And so he does have stage choice.
And he's very, very comfortable with Gary Scott. He loves the Gary Scott weekend.
Keep in mind, Mita is going to have a bit more mobility.
Yes. Which might put her in a better situation for reacting to the strange situations created by the angle bounces on the bumpers. Now that was kind of interesting. So she sort of hung around on the south part of the arena, and right as he was about to throw, just sort of started drifting upwards. It was sort of conditioning, like, hey, look how open I am. Throw that way. I'm like, ha, you thought.
Warp Whistle immediately with the return 5. Oh my goodness. The slap or the punch because it is G. Scott. Goes for the 5. Great reaction by Warp Whistle. And then a great response with the 5. Put him up, 10-5. Unfortunate, probably accidental diagonal dash from Southpaw Rock. 14-5, and Warp Whistle is going to take this first one here.
19-5.
19. No way he would be able to get more points.
It is literally impossible in this current format.
Yeah.
Unless we were on some whack stage like Casino.
Right. That stage doesn't exist, so
it does not.
Impossible.
Impossible. Ah, the bumper took away the super. Ah.
Right.
Why don't you make another decision on what to do with that disc?
I don't like what you did. Do it again.
We're having some rammer tosses. Hey.
Oh, my
God.
that
almost didn't make it. Good save there. Lightning wave. Good positional awareness and good sort of like.
Yeah.
He had the mental fortitude to sort of stick to his guns there.
Yeah. I think he accidentally dashed up instead of down there.
Yeah. It happens sometimes.
Split-second decisions. This game is a lot of split-second decisions.
Right, it's fast. Decided to just throw it right at him. I mean, like, it's hard to get past Gary Scott when you're, like, up at the net with him.
Okay. 10 seconds here. 6. And again, where many people would hesitate, maybe lob.
Stall it out.
Southpaw Rock is just playing this like there are 90 seconds left.
It wears. He's really banking.
Care.
He's really banking on the mental fortitude impact of forcing them to actively defend.
Does not know the meaning of the word lame. Never heard it.
Gonna
use that.
That was unfortunate,
super.
but it was a good save.
And
it's up with a 5.
Fortunate, all right?
Yeah.
As intended, according to Keikaku.
Translator's note, Keikaku means plan.
Yes. All according to Kotaku.
But that's just a theory. A game theory.
Yeah. Bumper bounce, but doesn't get much from it.
I really like the way, so the fact that he waited, you don't see this mechanic often. But if you wait really long and do a lob, it will like it'll go toward the net. And so that forced, because Southpaw was up at like the north back, he had to come toward the south front, like south net.
Right.
That was more distance to travel.
Good volley by both characters. Under 30 seconds, Southpaw Rock is up by 8.
He keeps sneaking these 5s.
Wins.
And that's it. Southpaw Rock is our Windjammers champion.
And Frosty Faustings 2023, Southpaw Rock, you did it.
And we have Warp coming in with the silver medal with a very, very good performance.